Welcome back, Halo followers. Today, I got a pretty lax video, but nonetheless, a pretty in-depth deep dive on Halo Infinite's new campaign screenshots. Now, this is pretty huge because we haven't seen anything regarding Halo Infinite's campaign since the July demo, and there was a lot of things that concerned myself as well as a lot of other Halo fans and gamers regarding the graphics, regarding the direction of this game, and also I'm gonna be laying out my opinions and thoughts about what we see here, and there's a lot of hidden gems, a lot of Easter eggs hidden in these pictures that unless you really sat down and looked for a long time, you probably have not seen these things. So guys, before we jump into it, be sure to smash that like button blue and subscribe, and let's go ahead and jump into the first image of the post. This one, I absolutely love how this camera is positioned. It just really opens up the valley. It shows depth, but I want to take a look at the lighting right here. All right, now this is huge because we're coming from this. All right, we're coming from this. Look at, by the way, we will compare this with the sniper rifle later, but remember, a big problem was that this assault rifle here looked very flat. There's also the HUD here, which we'll take note of that, and we'll bring that up later, as well as the radar. But yeah, the lighting is very spot on, all right? So the lighting has improved. But yeah, looking at this Warthog, it does not look flat. I really want to talk about the foreigner structures because there's something that is absolutely mind-blowing that has been changed here, and I never thought 343 Industries would do this. All right, but anyway, we got the typical Warthog here. We got even, you can see just a little bit of Master Chief here, but you know, we got the Marines here. Nothing big to say. You know, the battle rifle is right there. There is actually a new Magnum of some kind, and we actually see that in the gameplay image later. Now, I want to talk about the foreigner structure here. We'll talk about these green lights soon, but look at what's happening right here, guys. This is something that has not happened in Halo for a very, very, very long time, and that is wearing down of these foreigner structures. Now, I always thought it was really bizarre that foreigner structures were so fresh right off the factory, like not a scratch on them, when a big thing that made foreigner structures so unique in a way was the fact that it was, you know, kind of worn down. You know, these structures have been sitting around for hundreds of, you know, about 100,000 years, you know, with no maintenance pretty much, no one washing them down anyway, no buffing. So yeah, it's yeah, there is going to be stains. There's going to be hopefully a lot more erosion happening to these ancient alien artifacts, you know, and you can see of that happening a little bit slightly over here as well. But yeah, we have these green lights here. I'm pretty sure that this is like a mission, and that you actually have to, for whatever reason, go through this whole area. These might be banished markers, banished flares set up, but this reminds me a lot of Halo 1 and the Silent Cartographer, and just advancing around. Now, up here, looks like a tunnel, and or some kind of, yeah, probably a tunnel that will probably lead into this whole thing. So I heard some of it, I think Sean W called it a highway. So maybe maybe you can drive up here, but certainly this is some kind of roadway or some kind of walkway that we can access either on top of it or through it. All right. So not much to say about anything part of that part of the image there, but yeah, we see another green light here. Not much else to say about this image in general besides this structure right here, as well as this. And I was hoping to talk about this later, but we might as well talk about it now. Some people have been saying that this is a ship, a UNSC ship, maybe a Covenant ship, or Banished, whatever, or maybe a floating structure, a part of the ring, since there is quite a lot of that. Now, it's really hard to tell because of the pixels. It can be kind of misleading because these pixels look just like the Foreigner stuff sticking out, you know, those hex walls, as have been officially called. You know, you can see them right there, but that's what I'm talking about. So I don't know if that's a part of the same thing, a part of the ring, but my bet is that it is a banished ship, and yeah, it's just floating out there. So maybe I'm wrong about that, but yeah, we also have this structure right here, which looks a little similar to something that we've seen on Ascension or you know, I think that's what the map's called, but yeah, there it is. There it is. There's that image, guys. Now, let's talk about this one. All right. So, firstly, right off the bat, we have Banshees. All right, Banished Banshees. These look really cool. You can't quite see it, but they have like a little front kind of guard on them that haven't really been seen on Banshees before, as well as these little tails that are blasting out that orange beam, which I think is really cool, kind of unique to the Banished, wouldn't you say? Right? And yeah, so there is a lot going on in this image, like a lot. There's actually a structure right here that's pretty easy to miss, as well as some kind of stuff going on here, honestly. I can't tell if it's foreigner or Banished from this distance or quality, but yeah, certainly this is what we see in the concept art in the post. And again, do I have to remind you guys? I mean, it's massive. I mean, just look at the trees. These are trees. That's a tree. That's a tree. All right. This facility is massive. It is essentially going to probably be pretty tough fighting through this. All right. Probably having to go through this whole thing and then go up, just like we saw with the Banished AA turret. That's my assumption about that. Right over here, looks like there's some kind of wall, external wall, kind of guarding the encampment. But again, there is, I think, at some point in the post, in the waypoint post, they were talking about how you can even go underwater and then infiltrate bases or just go in gun blazing. So there is options to getting into here. You know, you might be able to grapple hook up here, but maybe it's heavily defended up there. It looks like there's no cover. You know, things like that. A lot of strategy to think about when coming up to these camps. And I'm wondering what could go on top of the rooftop up there. So we have a little something there. I think that's actually coming from the Banshee, perhaps. Yeah, but yeah, I just thought that I would mention that. All right, so we have another encampment over here. As you can tell, there's just a lot of encampments from here, and you can actually get an idea as far as what the rendering is going to be like, or the optimization at this point in development, right? And right here, that same structure, that ascension structure kind of like thing, and then also these, which we saw actually from the gameplay reveal the first time. But yeah, it's like this outer wall and basically floating in the middle of nowhere. And actually confirmed to the waypoint post, you can actually fly to different parts of the ring, floating parts of the ring that are via Banshee, right? That are just floating out here. So super, super cool. But we're not done with this image yet. All right. What the heck is that? Right? that is pretty big. You know, there's actually, if you look at the gameplay reveal, guys, you can see that there is a lot of very bizarre, very like all over the place structures. I mean, I don't know what the lore reasoning is for all this, but you know, there is certainly a lot of potential, a lot of verticalness to this world. And so I think someone made fun of me for saying that. I can't believe, you know, he thought that that's what 343 meant when they said that the world is vertical, is that it's up and down. But I think that it's exactly what they meant. I mean, look at how many ups and downs there are, you guys. I mean, there's so many cliffs and drops, and then ravines, and then, you know, ups and downs. I mean, and then I'm just thinking about going up here. I mean, you're going to have to zigzag, and then I'm guessing go up to the top here at some point, you know. And then how cool will it be to go all the way up there? And then also, I'm sure you guys have noticed at this point, what is that, right? Just more foreigner stuff, just falling apart, you know. And what I really love in this image is like the smoke, or the atmosphere and the fog just rolling through the hills. You can just see the silhouettes of the trees in the background, and yeah, and then you can see just like the distance of the Halo ring. It's quite a sight, you know. It's very much something cool to look at. And then of course I can't forget to mention the ship again. Is that a ship? What do you guys think this is? Let me know down in the comments below. I'm curious to see what you guys think about this. All right, so moving into this image, this one is pretty juicy. I won't say there's a whole lot to look at in this one, but the sniper rifle certainly catches, of course, everyone's attention. All right, this is a first-person perspective on Halo Infinite's campaign, the first that we've seen in a very long time, and there's some stuff going on here in the HUD, which we'll address in a second here, but yeah, taking a look at the sniper rifle, we saw it actually back from like a side point view back in December when that first update dropped by Joseph Staten. But yeah, I mean, the reticle, just looking at that, it's pretty different. I don't quite see, usually there's some kind of like infrared of what the player is looking at, you know, but there is not in this case. So I wonder if that's going to change. There's also just a lot more detail on this, you know. Of course, the gun has been simplified. It doesn't look like the Halo 4 or 5 sniper rifle, which I like. It looks like some kind of mix-up of that, but also the Halo, the Halo Reach rifle, but also the more Halo 3-esque times in Halo 2 era, you know, Halo 3 era. So again, it's like that blend of all Halos, which is what this game is really about. But looking at that detail, guys, all right, and remember, we're coming from this. This is what we saw back in July, right? And this was running on PC too, right? Which of course this is, as it's confirmed down here, running on PC. But, you know, like, look at those little details. And yet, even though it's so detailed, overall the rifle is very low. You know, it's not busy with tons of little unnecessary and bulges and indents and extrudes and polygon mesh groups and stuff like that. It's just very simple, but the texture detail is still there, right? And it's roughed out and it looks used up, right? So very, very big stuff. And right back here again, guys, Foreigner structure seeing deterioration. Now, the one thing I noticed about this image is that it looks the most Halo 4 Foreigner-ish design to me, which I don't like. I think that this is, unlike the sniper rifle, very busy, and we're still very far away from it in this image, you know. It just looks very, very Halo 4 or 5-esque, and yeah, it gets very, very busy up here, and I can't help but notice that there's like a face in this structure. You see it? Like, this is the eye, and then that's the mouth, you know, or even this could be the mouth. I'm just thinking of Ultron. You see it now? Do y'all see it? Okay. Anyway, yeah, so it looks like there's faces hidden into this thing. I might just be reading too much into it. Even not, though. What is this structure? Could this be one of the Palace of Pain pillars that we see floating around the game that are, you know, various sizes or whatnot? Maybe, maybe not. And I wonder what we're doing here. I wonder if maybe Master Chief has to fight through, you know, we fight through some waves of Banished or whatever, and then we go up here, and then just like I've always kind of imagined, it's like an elevator that will just shoot us up to a top that will fight like some kind of boss, or I don't know, maybe just turn on some kind of switch and then we can see something happen in the world, which would make sense. Now, this took me a second to figure out what this was. This is the Halo ring in the background. Yeah, not that mind-blowing or anything, but yeah, just looking at the radar, it looks like it's had quite an upgrade. I might be just imagining things, but maybe it's just the better fidelity. It certainly has changed, right? I mean, between these two. All right, anyway, so sorry, this is fun. This is laid back, like I said, like I promised you guys. We're just sitting here and really taking a close look at this, all right? So on the right side, this is the total count of ammo. Right here is your current used amount. You can see that there's like a blue and red kind of filter or something going on it, which actually on all of this, which I think is pretty cool. But right here, okay, so this is unmistakably the grenade slot, or at least one of them, and this is most likely the electrical grenade thing that we saw in the gameplay trailer, which basically is a bouncy electrical grenade that stuns enemies as it bounces across the ground. This could also be the spike grenade, because those look like spikes sticking out, but I think it's the first, as I just said. But we also have something that is like a radar or like a dash. And we only have one of them here, all right? But there seems to be 2 slots. So I wonder, you change slots, maybe these are abilities. But if you have any idea what this is, let me know down in the comment section below. I think that based on the other screenshot that we have here, that would be the ability button, all right? And once you use it, it recharges. So moving on to the last image, guys. Finally, we are here, and the very first thing I'm going to point out is this, all right? You know it, guys. This is absolutely beautiful, and I've been waiting for 343 to do this for the longest time. So if you look at the original beam emitters from really any reveal, anytime we've seen them in Halo Infinite, they were they were doing the design so wrong, in my opinion, right? But not only have they changed the design of the beam emitters entirely, it looks like. No, I mean, I'm not saying that they reworked the design, because this is basically Combat Evolved's design. Probably the same poly count as well. But yeah, this is effectively the same thing that we've had for years, but it's updated. And I just love these stained walls, right? Now, I wish they would do a little bit more erosion. I like these rough edges, these blackened rough edges. Like, these beam emitters have seen some things. They've been here for 100,000 years. A lot of crap all over them, a lot of just deterioration. Beautiful, man. And these things are going to be the things that are shooting those blue beams through the sky, for whatever reason. And hopefully in this game we'll figure out what these things are actually doing. But with that being said, there is actually quite a lot to see here, right? There's some animals here, and these look like those little I don't know what you call them. Yeah, so there's quite a few of these guys. We saw them in the gameplay back in July, but there seems to be something bigger here. So maybe that's like a deer or some kind of, like, I don't know, a horse or something, alien horse. I don't know, but we know that there's rhinos here, space rhinos. And looking into the distance, this has to be probably one of the most beautiful sci-fi things I've ever seen, right? This is really cool. Just the skyline, right? Just the skyline right here is really neat. And then these are kind of an eyesore, to be honest. But yeah, I just like the split. They probably could have gone a lot bigger with this, but yeah. One thing I'm not super excited about is the clouds. Now, these are going to be 3D generated. I think they do look a bit better than before. I think there's still some work to do, because there's still some kind of just choppiness here, and I've seen it in Unreal, but I think in order to get a proper grasp on it, we'd have to actually see gameplay of it or footage of the world, like some B-roll or anything. But let me not forget the lighting, because that's what really this image is all about, and we got tons of them next. But we actually see some things in the sky here, and I thought these were birds, but I think they're actually just pine needles flying off, which is really just a testament to how much 343 is paying attention to the world here. They are located in Seattle, 343 is, so they see this very close to the studio. They even went out there and studied the nature, and really getting in there and making sure everything feels and looks accurate. So I'm really excited to see that, considering how much I love the outdoors and really just mountains and stuff. But right here, what is that? Right? Because it looks like there are pillars that are sticking out like this. Do y'all see that? Right? Do y'all see this? What the heck? Let me see if I can make my line just a little bit smaller. But it looks like there's like a little piece right there, and then it's like going in, and then the pillars are sticking out like way out here, and then it goes way out here into like an island, and then it's just complete flat. What the heck? That I actually have not noticed that until now. And then we can see some mountains right here, but still a flat. Man, I really cannot wait to figure out what is going on with these hex walls, man, because they better make up a damn good reason why they're here, because I really can't make sense of them, like, lore-wise. I mean, I would think that they're a grid system, but they're not really affecting the environment like you would normally think, because there should be a lot of destruction around these things if it is, in fact, the grid popping up, but I don't know, man. I think we're wrong about that, you know, or if anyone agrees with me on it, but, yeah, here's one of the images, one at a time of day, and the lighting is incredible. Now, one thing that bothers me about this is that we don't know if this is in-game or in-engine. We don't know if there was a special thing. Like, is this just how it normally looks when you're playing the game? You know, on a PC or Xbox One or Xbox Series X, because this could have been set aside as a special render, and it could be reflecting some of the... We see that again. It could be reflecting some of the technical advancements that they've made on the engine since July, but it still doesn't really clarify whether this is in-engine and if this is actually something that we're really going to be able to experience, or if it's going to be like something like this but less awesome. But as you can tell, like, there's a lot of pretty dramatic mood shifts, and wow, would you look at that, the colors are really coming out here. That doesn't even look like the same structure, honestly. But yeah, there you go. There you go. That's but we even got more of this. This one is breathtaking. You know, you're going to be able to go to these environments, guys, and we're going to be able to really see these environments pop and come to life. And I wonder if, you know, I've been kind of playing Valheim recently, and kind of reminding me of Minecraft, but just like the fact that the monsters come out at night, it makes me think about what kind of monsters that lurk on set of Halo, other than just the Banished, but, you know, the wildlife here that might be pretty exotic and dangerous, you know, at certain times of day, like in the middle of the night, might not be a time that you want to be in a certain area or doing a certain thing, or firing your gun very much, or be in a vehicle that is very loud, you know, things like that. I wonder if they've gone to this. Now, this really does... This is probably my favorite screenshot, because it really, my God, that looks amazing. Okay. Moving on to our final screenshot, which is a night screenshot. And, you know, there's not much more to say about this one, besides the fact that, you know, we see a jackal right here. And I thought I saw something over here. Maybe I was just thinking of the wildlife, but yeah, so we see some Banished here, and it's funny we didn't see these guys in the other image, so maybe this isn't a permanent thing. Maybe the Banished are doing, you know, perimeter sweeps. Maybe they come by here, and based on certain triggers or certain times of day, the Banished might come and sit around and, you know, go to their encampment or whatever. And I think that these are a couple of brutes, another brute here, and I can't tell if that's something. Maybe it's just a rock, but yeah. But anyways, guys, I hope that was a satisfactory deep dive. You know, I haven't really done a deep dive on the waypoint post yet, but I figured that these images are going to be a much quicker way to get you guys the very juicy stuff that you're going to want here, and kind of think about the gameplay and the possibilities here, as well as the improvements that 343 Industries has made on the game. And I would really like to know if these images are rendered via in-engine, if they are real-time, because, you know, it's very easy for anyone to make epic screenshots like this, right? But is it actually going to be looking like this, all right? Because that's it. Always comes down to, is this actually what we're gonna get, right? But with that being said, again, guys, thanks so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one soon, all right? You take care. Peace.